Hello. So for the last day of Booksmas 2020, my pick for the ultimate book for the last day of Booksmas is Steal Like an Artist by Kleon. And with this book, we're gonna, uh, you know, tie up the whole Booksmas 2020 series, and I'm like so happy to bring you the last video of the series. So basically, the book is Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, is actually a kind of a self-help book, more like an advice book for creatives. It was a gift to me and was given to me by one of my brothers. And what this book did for me is it gave me a lot of courage to pursue creative work while not beating myself up, because I'm the kind of person who would beat themselves up. I mean, I'm quite hard on myself when it comes to creating, creative work. And creative work could be of many kinds. It could be a painting, maybe you are a painter, maybe it's a writing profession, maybe you write, maybe you do graphic designing, maybe you just design sales brochures, and even that requires creative work. Even something that requires an ounce of creative work, this book is kind of for you. And because what creative work needs is, it needs a lot of energy. It needs constant breaking down of ideas, constant writing down ideas, constant coming up with things that that you can improve, or maybe you can do differently, or maybe you can you know just try it with like a different flair. That's what I do when I create art on a daily basis sometimes. And sometimes I'll take a week to recuperate, and just a week to recuperate and come back to it. And sometimes I'm going to write every day for like a month, and probably sometimes a week, and then I'm going to take like 2 or 3 days of break. And Austin Kleon tells me in his book that even procrastination that's done with for creative people, that's procrastination when it's done with the right intention and in right constraint, is for creatives, is kind of productive. Because the great ideas come from when you're having downtime, when you're winding down, when you're having that glass of champagne, or maybe you are taking a salt bath, and maybe perhaps you're just relaxing and watching a YouTube video, or perhaps you're watching Netflix, your favorite show, or thousand things. Or maybe you're taking just a long walk down the mountain, and there's your next idea. You think about this next idea, and you're like, oh my god, let me jot it down in my notes app. Or perhaps you have a physical notebook. So what Austin Kleon tells you in his self-help book is that procrastination done with the right constraint can lead to great work. And your great work is done by the right constraints in your life. Also, figuring out what your routine could be. I mean, you need to have a routine, and great work only arises out of a routine that really works for you. That's what he was trying to say in the book. Your routine could be perhaps waking up early at 6 a.m. in the morning and just writing without thinking for like an hour, or perhaps doing that creative writing thing in the morning for a couple of hours, and then you're just done for the day. And then you can do other things. Perhaps you have a job to go to, perhaps you want to, I don't know, play guitar and violin, and everything you do is important. And perhaps other things comes easily to you. Perhaps playing the violin comes easily to you, and all you need to do do creative work is for your writing. So that's where you know right constraints and routine comes in. And also, Austin Kleon tells you in his book that having the right hobbies is the key to having great ideas and a lot of creative ideas. When you have like a couple of hobbies, you have the chance to just do your whatever you're doing, but with a lot of creativity. Like, perhaps you're a songwriter and you're writing song lyrics, but perhaps you have also a vegetable garden and you tend to it every day. And while you're tending the garden, maybe an idea will come through. Maybe the next lyric that you were stuck on, maybe it'll just arise out of nowhere. So that's what Austin Kleon tells you that you need to have hobbies, you need to have that downtime to relax, and also all these other hobbies are a way of nurturing your soul and a way of nurturing you. So let all these, side hobbies uh, nurture you to get to where you want to go with your, your creative life and your process. Another thing Austin Kleon tells you is to imitate your favorite artists. And let hear me out. Imitating is not copying someone's work. I mean, in the beginning he says that you should copy a couple of artists, because you can only copy to a point, right? If you were copying from J.K. Rowling, you can only copy like 20 or 30% of a book, or like maybe 40%. Maybe you can copy the idea that there's a boy who has this cursed mark on his head, but you cannot copy the entire thing. Then it'll become just Hogwarts and it'll just be Harry Potter, but it'll not be your book. But if you change some things around, perhaps there was a shapeshifter in the place of Voldemort trying to kill the cursed boy, then there you have your own premise and the way you want to write, and you'll perhaps write the book you always wanted to write. Another thing he tells you, to create the things you want to read, to create the things you want to see, to create the things you would have liked to use, like the products and things that you always wanted to have, but you're not seeing that out in the market or not out and about. You can create them yourself, and that's what creative work does for you. Another important thing that I saw in the book was that I took away is when Austin Kleon tells you that enjoy the anonymity, you know, when nobody knows that you're an artist. Maybe you are like a small watercolor painter like me, and nobody knows about you, and you make good work. So he tells you to make good work and put it out there. And when and your life is not constrained by geography now. You could be a small watercolor artist in India, and somebody in Germany could find you and perhaps buy your paintings through Etsy. Like, your work is not constrained by geography anymore. If you have talent and you nurture it and you work on it regularly and you keep putting out good work, somebody is going to find you. Till then, fame would come, but till then, enjoy anonymity. Enjoy being that artist that can take, risks, that can make weird mistakes, that can do all these crazy experiments. That's what this YouTube channel is right now. It's a very small channel, and I'm so happy that nobody gives a F about my book review videos, and I'm just reviewing all the books that I like. And that's the creative freedom that I have with all of these videos. That's what have kept me going. That's what has made me enthusiastic to come to these videos. And I'm making so many videos I've made, I mean, since the beginning of December, and that's what kept me going, to enjoy the anonymity and enjoy that you can do create work with creative freedom before 10 different people come and tell you what to do, to tell you like this, that this should be on the thumbnail, that this should go in the title. You can do whatever you like. And another major takeaway from Austin Kleon's book is to be easier on yourself. Things happen in the right time and on the right path, and even if you like imitate your couple of great thinkers or readers or writers, and you're following them and you're trying to create work as them, and then you copy like 60% or 70%, but then you're not sure where it's going to go, you're not sure where it's going, and that's where you know realize what's your unique take on that topic is, whatever you're following, and you realize that's where you're great at, and that's how you do your work, and that's your creative freedom, and that's your creative power, and that's where you become unique when you're like stealing like an artist. And it reminds me of this great quote from Pablo Picasso: good artists copy and great artists steal. So it's on you to decide what you want to be. So that was my wrap up for this Booksmas 2020. I hope you have enjoyed this series as much as I've enjoyed making them, and I know it was not perfect and it was not everything you've possibly wanted it to be, but this is where I am, and this is where what I'm making, and this is what I'm interested in making, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad and grateful that you came and you gave me your time in watching this and watching all of these videos. Merry Christmas. This is my last video for the Booksmas series, so Merry Christmas and enjoy your Christmas, and Happy New Year. Enjoy your New Year. And your content will be on your way. I'll be posting regular content, so enjoy your week and have a great day.